Scrapbookers, this is Vanessa here with my next process video, and here I'm just showing you what I pulled out that I plan to use for this layout. I am still working through my secret not so secret kit, mini kit, so I'm using some pieces from that, and I'm going to start by showing you just quickly some of the mixed media that I did on the background. I took a white piece of cardstock and just gessoed it up, and then I'm taking the gelato that came in my kit. I believe the color was Stardust, and I just took a wet baby wipe and some water, and I kind of am just putting it on the white background just to add a little bit of color. Nothing too overpowering. I just wanted it to be really light. So I'm just kind of adding color, and I just keep doing that same process until I get what I like. I took a paintbrush and I put on some splatters and added a bit more color and then kind of blotted it off. Sorry, I'm kind of off camera a little bit, but essentially I just kept building the color until I got what I liked, and then it was warped. But luckily with all of my layouts, or the majority of my layouts, I typically will back it on a piece of cardstock. And in this case, I plan to back this white on a piece of navy blue cardstock. So I'm just going to put that down. And then, of course, I don't get it on straight. And I hit my camera at the same time while I'm trying to pull it back up. Story of my life. Nothing ever goes on straight. So I'm just getting it back down, getting it all stuck down. That'll help with the warping of that white cardstock. And then I kind of have a general idea of how I want to lay out my background. So I know that I want this blue piece of paper, which was actually from my kit. It was the Felicity paper, I think, from Glitz. And so I knew that I wanted that to be the bottom half of my layout. So I'm getting that. I have a doily that came in my kit that I'll be using. I have the picture of my daughter. This is my daughter wearing her Mickey ears that she bought at Disney. She bought the purple and white polka dotted Mickey ears. So because she has these cute Mickey ears, I cut out on my Cricut a Mickey ear cut file, and I basically just found that shape and then welded it together to make that strip, and then I cut two individual ones as well that I'm going to use. And I'm sure you've seen a million times. Lots of YouTubers do this same thing, but basically I'm just going to back each one of those Mickey head cut file pieces with this paper that I pulled from a 6x6 paper pad. I believe it was an old Studio Calico, maybe the Wonderlust collection. So basically I didn't make you watch all of that. I cut it out, but it's this same process that everybody else does. I kind of stick it on and then cut around it. And so I used those papers and I went ahead and backed them all, and then I actually cut that strip in half because I knew my photo was going to go behind it as well. So I kind of made it easier to put down, just cutting it in half. And I did the two individual Mickey heads like I said, and now I'm going to back my photo on the tissue paper that actually had come in, or that my kit came wrapped in. So I'm going to get that down and sort of start laying out my layout, the bits and pieces of how I want the layout to look. I'm not following a sketch or anything like that. I'm kind of just laying it out how I have it in my head, or how I thought when I wanted to put this layout together, how I wanted it to look. And I'm using, again, more of the 6x6 papers that I pulled from that Studio Calico kit or paper pad, and all of the colors. I don't use a lot of like this pinky purple color, so it was kind of nice to be able to take those papers and put them on a layout finally. They actually went really well. They matched that Mickey hat that my daughter's wearing perfectly, so I was glad to finally get some of this used up. So here I am just cutting my backing papers for my photo, getting my doily down, figuring out, okay, yep, I like how this is going to look. And so since most of this is pretty straightforward, you're just going to have, here's how I'm going to kind of lay it out, and then you'll see that I put it down and then I pick it all back up to glue it down instead of gluing as I go. I have no idea why I don't do that, but I don't. So I cut out this camera as well. I don't think, I'm looking at the final, no, it doesn't. I thought I was going to use this camera. It's from a Chamel piece of paper. I don't remember what collection. I don't actually end up using it, but at first I thought I was going to. Oh, and then I'm showing you, I created these cute little tiny bows with a die that I have, and they are super cute. And I stuck one on each of the little individual Mickey head cutouts that I have on this layout, and they're adorable. I love them. So I'm just gonna lay this all out. But I figure while you're kind of watching my process, I figured let's talk a little bit about all the new collections that are coming out. What are you guys liking? Are you guys liking a lot of what you're seeing, or just certain collections? What are you guys seeing out there for the new collections being released this weekend at the trade show? I know for me, I like the Maggie Holmes Flourish. I usually like Maggie Holmes. I like the Pink Fresh. I think that of all the collections, that the Pink Fresh, Let Your Heart Decide, and the Case of the Blahs are probably two of my favorites. Apart from that, I did like some pieces from the Fancy Pants Poolside and the Bright Side, I think is what it's called. Other than that, I don't think there's a whole lot of collections this year that I'm really going to want to get. I might get bits and pieces, but I don't get all of the toucans and llamas and mermaids, and yeah, I don't use those. I mean, I put randomness on my pages. Yeah, I have no problem with that, but I can't see myself buying a whole lot of any of those things that are happening in a lot of these collections this year. I haven't really been super excited about the Amy Tan or the Dear Lizzie or the Chamel, and I love Chamel. Even the new Paige Evans, there's bits and pieces, but honestly, I could take it or leave it. The good news for me is I don't have a huge crafty budget this year, so I won't be too upset that I probably won't be getting much of the new collections this year. I think this will definitely be the year that I do some stash busting. So a lot of my channel, I'll just tell you right now, is going to be using my stash. I'm going to hopefully put some kits together. Maybe I'll even put some kits together based on some of the ideas or some of the color schemes of the new collections that came out this year, and just use my own stash to build my own kits. I think that probably is how my scrapping is going to go this year. But yeah, I am not super like seeing anything that I have to have. I don't know about you guys. You guys let me know if there's anything that out there that you guys are like, oh, I have to have that collection. I absolutely love it. There are some bits and pieces, but like I said, nothing super screaming at me. I just am looking here. I am putting my title on this page, and it is called Sporting the Ears, which I thought was really cute because she's wearing her Mickey ears, and she's looking pretty cute in those. So while I was sort of yammering on about all the new collections, you saw me take a piece of that turn the page washi tape that had all the butterflies. I fussy cut those out. I wasn't going to use the entire strip. I just wanted some of the butterflies in the colors that matched this layout, and so I went ahead and fussy cut those. I put it on a piece of white paper first so I could easily work with it. And so you'll see that I'm just laying everything out, and I'm working up in that left hand corner. And I have this Hey There chipboard, and I have been trying to use that Hey There chipboard piece from an old crepe paper collection. I don't even know how old, but it's super old. And I was so excited that I finally got it on a layout. I don't know if you guys are like that, if you ever have a piece of ephemera or chipboard or something and you like it, but man, getting it on a layout is like crazy. I could not, for the life of me, find a layout that I liked it on until this one. And I think it's because it really matched the colors so well. And I don't use a lot of this purpley pink color. And so I was so happy to finally get a layout that actually matched and it worked on. So yay for getting old things out of your stash. And I am basically just going through, and now I'm pretty happy with how each cluster is, and so I'm going to just make sure there's nothing else that I like, and I should start sticking it all down here in a second. So yeah, lots of finger tapping, and do I like this? Do I not like this? Is it needing something else? You know, I do that. Lots of finger tapping. So I'm putting down my title here. And so while I'm doing that, I just want to say thank you to all my new subscribers. I think I have responded to all of the comments that I've gotten, and it's been so fun to log in and see new subscribers, and I hope you're enjoying my process videos so far. I'm still aiming at having a process video at least once a week. Right now I am participating in a online crop with a message board that I'm a part of, and so I have been putting lots of layouts together and filming them as I go. So that should give me lots of content for the next couple of weeks for sure. And so I hope to be able to stick to my plan of having a video out a week. So if this is your first time watching one of my videos, welcome. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and give me a like, and come back and you should see at least once a week, like I said, a new process video. So I really appreciate everyone's support here on YouTube. It's so fun. I love watching process videos. So I was so excited to have new subscribers and be able to have viewers who hopefully like what I'm putting out. If there's anything you want to see, let me know. I'd be happy to put a video together. And so back to the layout. I'm up in that corner now, finally gluing everything down and putting those cute little butterflies that I cut from the washi tape. And I just glue them in the middle so that the wings are lifted up, because I like to have that little bit of dimension. There's already some dimension with the chipboard, and then that little bow is dimensional. So I didn't put anything on this layout up on pop dots because each cluster sort of already has dimension with something of chipboard and things like that. So I didn't want it to be popped up all over the place. So now I'm just going to get the rest of these layers put down, and putting this little, again, I had another one of those chipboards that I thought I was never going to use, and that was that typewriter, because it's in that pinky purple color that I don't really use a lot. And so this layout was perfect. I knew I was definitely getting it on this layout. So that went down. I think that little potty person that's laying on my layout right now, she does not actually make it to the layout. I looked at her and I was going to add her and I wasn't going to add her, and she ultimately does not make it to the layout. But on this left hand side, I think everything that I have right there does make it to the final layout. I'm just kind of arranging it, making sure that I like how it looks, getting it all glued down. That little skull up circle says, "You are kinda awesome," and my daughter is kinda awesome. And then this arrow, I was trying to see what kind of, or whether my adhesive was actually going to matte or be seen underneath it. Luckily it wasn't. So I didn't watch the rest. I didn't make you watch the rest of me gluing everything down, but I just added some puffy sequins and then took my date stamp and my Marina Mist ink, stamp my date, take one more look at my layout, and call it done. So guys, that'll be it, and there'll be pictures at the end, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.